Love for neighbor, a biblical perspective. The love for one's neighbor is one of the central themes in Christian teaching, permeating the entire Bible. Its importance is so great that Jesus Christ himself pointed to it as one of the two greatest commandments, alongside loving God. In this video, we will look at what the Holy Scriptures say about love for our neighbor, its meaning, and how it should be manifested in our lives. 1. The foundation of the commandment to love one's neighbor. In the Old Testament, the commandment to love one's neighbor was given to Moses. In the book of Leviticus, it states, "You shall love your neighbor as yourself, I am the Lord," Leviticus 19 verse 18. This commandment becomes the foundation for human relationships. Loving one's neighbor implies caring for their well-being, respecting their dignity, and being ready to help them in need. Jesus reaffirms this commandment in the New Testament, making it a key element of spiritual life. When asked which commandment is the greatest, he replied, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. You shall love your neighbor as yourself." Matt 22:37-39. Thus, love for one's neighbor becomes more than just a moral principle, it is an integral part of faith and service to God. 2. Who is my neighbor? One common question is, who exactly is my neighbor? To whom does this commandment apply? The answer is found in the parable of the Good Samaritan, Luke 10 verses 25-37. When a lawyer asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Jesus responded through the story of a man in distress and those who helped, or ignored, him. The main takeaway from this parable is that a neighbor is anyone, regardless of their background, religion, or social status. We are called to be ready to assist anyone in need, even if they are strangers or enemies. 3. How does love for one's neighbor manifest itself? Love for one's neighbor is not limited to words or abstract feelings. It must be expressed through concrete actions. The Apostle John writes, "If someone says, 'I love God,' and hates his brother, he is a liar. For if he does not love his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love God, whom he has not seen?" 1 John 4 verse 20. This means that our love for God is tested by how we treat the people around us. Here are some examples of how we can demonstrate love for our neighbor. Meeting their needs, as shown in the parable of the Good Samaritan, true love is expressed through practical assistance. Forgiveness, Jesus teaches us to forgive others, just as God forgives our sins, Matt 6:14-15. Humility, Christians should strive to consider others better than themselves, Phil 2:3. Kindness and patience, the Apostle Paul describes love as something that is patient and kind, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4. 4. The example of Jesus Christ. The clearest example of love for one's neighbor was set by Jesus Christ himself. He didn't just teach about love, he lived it every day. His ministry was filled with acts of mercy, healing, and compassion. Even on the cross, he prayed for his persecutors, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," Luke 23 verse 34. Jesus established a new commandment that reveals the depth of love. "As I have loved you, so you must love one another," John 13 verse 34. This commandment shows that our love should resemble his, selfless, sacrificial, and forgiving. 5. Love for one's neighbor as a path to salvation. Loving one's neighbor plays a vital role in our spiritual journey. In the Gospel of Matthew, 25:31-46, Jesus describes the judgment of the nations, where the primary criterion will be how they treated those in need. "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me," Matt 25:40. These words remind us that love for one's neighbor is not just a virtue to aspire to but a necessary condition for fellowship with God. 6. Conclusion. Love for one's neighbor is not merely an ideal to strive for but a living reality that every Christian must embody. It requires effort, self-sacrifice, and constant alignment with God's will. But when we fulfill this commandment, we become like Christ himself, who first showed us what it means to love others. May our lives reflect His love so that through us, the light of Christ may illuminate the world and lead people to know God.